If you're like 99% of Apple TV owners, you probably just made a huge mistake. And the funny thing is that it didn't feel like a mistake at the time. It felt harmless, forgettable, routine. A small notification popped up on your screen telling you that tvOS 26.2 was available, and you treated it the same way you've treated dozens of similar updates before. Maybe you dismissed it with "update later" because you were halfway through a Netflix episode. Maybe you installed it, skimmed the release notes, saw the same old phrases about stability improvements, performance optimizations, and a couple of cosmetic tweaks, and then immediately forgot about it. On the surface, tvOS updates have trained us to expect very little. A new Arial screensaver here, a minor bug fix there, nothing that fundamentally changes how you use the device. That expectation is exactly why almost everyone missed what just happened. Because tvOS 26.2 is not a normal update. It only looks boring if you do know where to look. While most of the tech world was busy arguing about new iPhone colors, debating whether the latest Apple Watch band was worth the price, or obsessing over hardware rumors that won't materialize for months, a much smaller team inside Apple quietly shipped something far more important. Buried deep inside the software, hidden behind vague wording and undocumented changes, is a collection of features that completely alters what the Apple TV is capable of. This isn't about a new menu layout or a prettier interface. This is about Apple laying the groundwork to turn the Apple TV into a legitimate gaming console, and they did it without saying a word. Most people assume tvOS updates are inherently dull because historically, they have been. The Apple TV has always been positioned as a streaming box first and a casual gaming device second. Games were something you tried out of curiosity, not something you took seriously. Apple Arcade titles were fun, polished, and accessible, but nobody expected console-level performance or responsiveness. That mindset is exactly what makes tvOS 26.2 so fascinating. On paper, Apple talks about guest profiles, kids modes, and minor quality-of-life improvements. Under the hood, however, the changes tell a completely different story. By digging into developer documentation, examining Metal 4 behavior, and analyzing how the system manages resources in this version, it becomes obvious that Apple is fundamentally rethinking how the Apple TV operates when a game is running. One of the most important discoveries is a new internal performance mechanism that developers are already whispering about. Internally, it's referred to as a high-demand execution flag, part of what some documentation hints at as a performance boost API. This sounds abstract, but the real-world impact is huge. Before this update, the Apple TV was always multitasking. Even when you were deep into a game, the system was still checking HomeKit accessories, syncing iCloud data, listening for Siri triggers, and managing background services that had nothing to do with what you were actively doing. That constant multitasking limited how hard the hardware could be pushed for long periods of time. With tvOS 26.2, that behavior changes dynamically. When the system detects that a high-performance game is running, it aggressively deprioritizes background tasks. It essentially tells the operating system to stop worrying about everything else and focus almost entirely on delivering consistent performance to the game. This allows the GPU to maintain higher sustained clock speeds without hitting thermal or power constraints as quickly as before. The result isn't just slightly faster menus or quicker load times. The real benefit shows up where it matters most: frame rate stability. Sudden dips during explosions, heavy effects, or complex scenes are significantly reduced. Games that already ran well feel smoother, and games that occasionally stuttered suddenly feel locked in and reliable. Raw performance, however, is only half the equation for gaming. The other half is responsiveness, and this is where tvOS 26.2 becomes even more interesting. Another hidden feature uncovered in the update is a revamped low-latency gaming mode. Apple TV has technically supported auto low-latency mode for compatible TVs for a while, but the implementation was basic. With this update, Apple introduces a new responsive buffer protocol that works in conjunction with HDMI 2.1 on modern televisions. This change reduces internal frame buffering and shortens the processing pipeline between input and display output. In simple terms, it cuts down the time between when you press a button and when you see the result on screen. That reduction might only be measured in milliseconds, but in gaming, milliseconds matter. Competitive shooters, fast-paced action games, and precision platformers all benefit immediately. The controls feel tighter, more direct, and more predictable. You don't consciously think about it at first, but after a few minutes, everything feels more responsive. Your timing improves. Your reactions feel sharper. It's the kind of improvement that's hard to advertise because it doesn't show up in screenshots. But once you experience it, going back feels wrong. Controllers themselves also get a major upgrade in this update, and this is one of the most surprising parts of 26.2. Apple has quietly expanded its haptic feedback APIs in a big way. Previously, even advanced controllers like Sony's DualSense were limited to basic rumble functionality on Apple TV. The hardware was capable of much more, but the software simply didn't expose those features to developers. With the new update, Apple introduces support for nuanced actuation. This allows developers to use directional and localized haptic feedback instead of simple on or off vibration. The difference this makes is dramatic. Instead of generic rumble during action sequences, games can now deliver feedback that matches what's happening on screen. If you take damage from the left, you feel it on the left side of the controller. If a vehicle loses traction on one side, the haptics reflect that imbalance. This kind of feedback has been a hallmark of modern consoles, and seeing it quietly arrive on Apple TV is a clear signal that Apple is taking gaming far more seriously than before. On top of that, tvOS 26.2 introduces a new input prediction protocol designed to compensate for Bluetooth latency. Wireless controllers have always had a slight delay compared to wired connections, and while most players adapt to it, the heavy feeling can be noticeable. Apple's new approach uses software-based prediction to anticipate the next fraction of a second of input based on recent movement patterns. The system effectively smooths out the delay, making controls feel lighter and more immediate. It's not magic, and it doesn't eliminate latency entirely. But the improvement is enough to make older games feel refreshed and more responsive without any changes from the developer. There's also evidence that Apple is expanding support for a wider range of controllers. Previously, only officially certified controllers offered reliable button mapping and full feature support. With tvOS 26.2, many high-end third-party and boutique controllers are now being recognized as standard devices. Button layouts map correctly, analog inputs behave as expected, and advanced features are more consistently available. This opens the door for enthusiasts who prefer specialized hardware to use their controllers without compromises. Perhaps the most intriguing discovery, though, has nothing to do with locally installed games. Buried in the code are references to variable bit rate jitter buffering, a feature that's crucial for cloud gaming. This has no practical use for games running directly on the Apple TV hardware. It exists specifically to stabilize streaming game data over the internet. Combined with background processes that resemble developer performance overlays, it strongly suggests that Apple is preparing the Apple TV for a future where cloud gaming plays a major role. Whether that future involves better support for services like GeForce Now and Xbox Cloud Gaming, or an entirely new Apple-driven platform, the foundation is clearly being laid. So why all the secrecy? Why not announce this on stage, show side-by-side comparisons, and claim a win in the gaming space? The answer seems to be strategy. Apple appears to be playing a long game. Instead of hyping features before they're fully ready, they're building the infrastructure quietly, refining it, and letting developers adapt to it over time. By the time Apple decides to release more powerful Apple TV hardware or officially position the device as a console-grade gaming system, the software will already be mature and reliable. When that moment comes, it won't feel like a risky leap. It will feel inevitable. For most users, these changes are already active by default. The performance and latency improvements don't require any manual toggles. However, to get the most out of the new controller features, there is one important step. You need to go into your settings, navigate to remotes and devices, select Bluetooth, choose your controller, and create or customize a profile for the games you play most. Competitive players will notice the difference immediately, especially in fast-paced or precision-heavy titles on Apple Arcade. In all honesty, this is one of the most impressive non-updates Apple has ever released. It doesn't scream for attention, but it fundamentally changes how the Apple TV feels as a gaming device. It no longer feels like a streaming box that can run games as an afterthought. It feels like a system that actually respects gamers. Input feels sharper. Performance feels more consistent. Haptics feel modern and expressive. Even older games benefit from these changes without needing updates of their own. If you've already installed tvOS 26.2, it's worth going back and revisiting your most demanding games. Load up something like Resident Evil or Grid Legends and pay attention to how it feels during intense moments. If you notice fewer frame drops, smoother motion, or controls that feel more immediate, that's not your imagination. That's the new optimization framework doing its job. And this is likely just the beginning. Apple is clearly transforming this small, unassuming black box into something much more powerful, one software update at a time, right under everyone's noses.